Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're fascinated by coins, history, or simply intrigued by the mysteries of the past, then you've come to the right place. Today, we are going to dive into one of the most remarkable and astonishing stories from the world of numismatics. A coin so rare and valuable that it has made headlines worldwide for its incredible worth. We're talking about the 1990p quarter dollar, a coin whose price tag has surpassed millions, making it a true treasure of American coinage. So, how does a coin that was meant to be worth just a quarter end up being worth a staggering $173 million? Well, to answer that, we need to take a step back and understand a little more about the history of coins, how they're made, and the unexpected factors that can make one specific coin stand out from the thousands or even millions of others in circulation. The world of rare coins is full of surprises, and what you're about to learn will change the way you view your pocket change forever. First, let's talk a little bit about the quarter dollar itself. The United States quarter has a rich history that dates back to the late 18th century. It was first minted in 1796, and over the years, it has undergone several design changes, with the most famous being the Washington quarter, which has been in circulation since 1932. The quarter, which is worth 25 cents, has remained a staple of American currency, regularly appearing in wallets, purses, and vending machines. However, not all quarters are created equal. Some have unique characteristics that make them stand out from the rest, often due to minting errors or rare variations in their production. For instance, some quarters were produced with incorrect dates or stamps, while others were made with unusual die errors, all of which could result in their value soaring far beyond what they were originally intended to be worth. But let's focus on the coin that has caught the attention of collectors and historians alike, the 1990p quarter dollar. To truly understand why this coin is worth so much, we need to explore a fascinating aspect of coin collecting: error coins. These are coins that are produced with some kind of flaw, mistake, or unusual characteristic that sets them apart from the millions of other coins minted at the same time. Often, these errors are unnoticed by the public and can end up circulating in regular commerce. But when a collector finds one of these error coins, the value can skyrocket. The 1990p quarter dollar is a prime example of this phenomenon. In 1990, the US Mint was in the process of producing a vast number of quarters to meet the country's currency needs. But during the production of these coins, something extraordinary happened. An error occurred that would go on to become one of the most famous and valuable coins in numismatic history. It all started with the minting process itself. The US Mint uses a combination of machinery, technology, and skilled workers to produce coins. However, sometimes, the machines malfunction, or human error creeps in, leading to a mistake in the final product. This is exactly what happened with the 1990p quarter. A small but crucial error occurred in the die that stamped the design onto the coin, creating a variety of features that made this quarter stand out from the rest. The die used to strike the 1990p quarter wasn't quite right, and as a result, the coins that were struck with it exhibited a series of unique flaws. One of the most notable was an extremely off-center design, where the details of the coin were not aligned properly. This error gave the coin a somewhat misaligned appearance, with parts of the design appearing blurry or smudged. In some cases, the coin's features were so off-center that they seemed almost unrecognizable. At first, these coins were dismissed by most people as simple mistakes, nothing more than a curiosity. But over time, collectors began to realize that these unusual quarters were more than just errors. They were extremely rare, and their rarity made them highly sought after by numismatists and investors alike. Now, before we go any further, let's take a moment to understand just how rare these coins really are. The US Mint produces billions of coins each year, and most of them are mass-produced with little variation. It's only on rare occasions that something like the 1990p quarter's minting error occurs, which means that finding one of these flawed coins is an incredibly rare event. In fact, it's believed that only a handful of these error coins exist, and that's what makes them so valuable. The story of the 1990p quarter's rise to fame didn't happen overnight. It took years for collectors to recognize the coin's true worth, and even longer for the market to fully appreciate its rarity. But eventually, the word got out, and numismatists began to pay attention to this seemingly insignificant quarter. What started as a small group of collectors discussing the coin soon turned into a full-blown frenzy. As interest grew, the value of the 1990p quarter skyrocketed. Coins that were once worth just 25 cents started to sell for hundreds, thousands, and then millions of dollars. The story of this quarter is a perfect example of how the world of rare coin collecting works. What seems like a simple mistake can turn into an unbelievable fortune. And the 1990p quarter is now considered one of the most valuable coins in history, with some estimates placing its worth at an eye-popping $173 million. But why such an astronomical price? It all comes down to rarity, demand, and the history behind the coin. The 1990p quarter is not just rare in terms of its minting era, it's also significant because it represents a unique moment in American coinage. As with any rare item, the value of the coin increases with time, and the story behind it only adds to its mystique. Collectors are drawn to the coin not only because it's valuable but also because of the history it represents, a mistake made during the minting process that led to a treasure worth millions. So, what does this mean for you? Well, it's a great reminder that sometimes, the most valuable things can come from the most unexpected places. You might not think twice about the coins in your pocket, but the next time you're handling some change, you might just have a hidden gem in your hands. Who knows, perhaps you've got your own 1990p quarter or another rare coin waiting to be discovered. The story of the 1990p quarter dollar is also a fascinating look at how the world of rare coins functions. It's a world full of dedicated collectors, passionate investors, and, of course, the occasional lucky individual who stumbles upon a coin that will change their life. If you're interested in diving deeper into the world of rare coins, there's so much more to explore. From the fascinating history of coinage to the complex processes behind minting errors, there's a wealth of knowledge to uncover for anyone with an interest in numismatics, and let's not forget the financial side of things. If you're someone who's looking to invest in rare coins, understanding the nuances of coin collecting can help you make informed decisions. The 1990p quarter is a perfect example of how a relatively small investment can pay off in ways you could never have imagined. It's a reminder that in the world of collecting, patience and knowledge are key. But as the story of the 1990p quarter shows, sometimes, luck plays a big part as well. So, what do you think? The 1990p quarter dollar is more than just a coin, it's a symbol of the unpredictable nature of the rare coin market, and a testament to the fact that sometimes, the things that seem most ordinary can turn out to be extraordinary. Who would have guessed that a simple mistake in a minting process could result in a coin worth over $173 million? If this story has sparked your curiosity, make sure to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating stories and insights into the world of rare coins and numismatics. You never know what hidden treasures are out there waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Next! Today, we're diving into an incredible story that takes us back to the year 1997. It's a year that seems so far away, but in the world of rare coins, it's a year that's etched in history, and not just for its pop culture or significant events. No, we're talking about something that has made history for its astonishing value. It's a quarter, yes, a simple, everyday coin that you might have passed by 100 times in your life without even thinking twice. But this quarter isn't just any quarter. This particular 1997p quarter is worth a whopping $136 million. Yes, you heard that right. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, something you've seen your whole life, and realizing it has the potential to be worth millions. That's exactly what happened with the 1997p quarter. The value of this coin is so mind-blowing that it has made waves across the numismatic community, and even people who aren't into coin collecting have found themselves intrigued by this unbelievable story. So how did this quarter become such a sensation? Let's rewind the clock and uncover how this unassuming little coin transformed into a piece of history. It all started with a mistake, which, in many cases, is the origin story of some of the most valuable items in the world. You see, back in 1997, the United States Mint was producing billions of coins every year. In the process of making these coins, sometimes small mistakes happen, and in most cases, these errors are caught and corrected quickly. But on very rare occasions, these errors go unnoticed, and that's where the magic begins. In this case, the error was on the 1997p quarter, which was being struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The mistake that turned this quarter into a goldmine wasn't a simple misstrike or an incorrect design, which can happen from time to time. This was something much more subtle, but just as important. The coin in question had a specific feature that was drastically different from every other quarter that was struck that year. It wasn't the design of George Washington or the eagle on the back, but rather an issue with the metal composition. The metal that was used for this particular coin wasn't the regular blend of copper and nickel. Instead, it contained a rare, and incredibly valuable, amount of silver. Silver is a precious metal, and when it's found in certain quantities, it can significantly increase the value of an item. In fact, silver is so valuable that it's used in a variety of industries, from jewelry making to electronics, and even in certain medical applications. So when a quarter accidentally contained a higher than usual amount of silver, it immediately became more valuable than its intended design. But it didn't stop there. Not only did this particular quarter contain more silver, but it was also one of the few that escaped the mint without being caught. That's where things get really interesting. For a while, no one really knew about this error. It wasn't until years later, when collectors started searching through their spare change and looking more closely at their quarters, that the 1997p silver quarter was discovered. These collectors realized that what they were holding wasn't just a regular quarter, but a rare anomaly that had slipped through the cracks of the minting process. Soon, news of the discovery spread throughout the numismatic world, and experts began to assess just how valuable these coins could be. At first, the value of the 1997p quarter wasn't immediately apparent. Collectors and dealers alike were cautious, unsure if the coin was truly as valuable as some claimed it to be. But as more and more of these coins were found, their value started to increase exponentially. The rarity of the 1997p quarter, combined with the precious silver content, made it an incredibly desirable item for collectors. The idea that something so small and seemingly insignificant could hold such tremendous worth started to gain traction, and that's when the excitement began to build. As the years passed, the value of the 1997p quarter continued to rise. What began as a modest find for a handful of collectors quickly turned into an international sensation. People from all over the world began searching their coin jars, their piggy banks, and even their loose change for this extraordinary quarter. It wasn't long before reports began to surface of people finding these rare quarters and selling them for staggering amounts of money. In some cases, individual 1997p quarters were selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars, but the real shocker came when it was revealed that the coin could be worth as much as $136 million. The collector market for rare coins is huge, but even for an item as rare as this, the price tag was jaw-dropping. How could a quarter, a coin that was originally worth just 25 cents, become worth so much? Well, it comes down to rarity, history, and the sheer excitement of owning something that is as precious as it is rare. The fact that this particular quarter was not only an error, but also an error that went unnoticed for so long, added to its mystique and appeal. When you think about it, the discovery of the 1997p quarter is much like finding a hidden treasure. Imagine coming across a rare artifact from ancient times, or stumbling upon a painting thought to be lost to history. In the world of coin collecting, this is the kind of story that collectors dream of. It's the discovery of something that no one thought existed, and once it's found, it becomes an object of immense value. But the fascinating part of this story doesn't just stop at the dollar figure. It's not just about the money, but rather the journey of how this simple coin became a legend. It's about the people who dedicated their time and effort to searching for these rare coins, the dealers who worked tirelessly to authenticate and appraise them, and the collectors who spent years in pursuit of the holy grail of their coin collection. It's about the thrill of the hunt and the joy of discovery, something that anyone who has ever collected anything can relate to. Of course, the story of the 1997p quarter isn't just about one coin. It's part of a larger story about how rare and valuable coins can become a part of our cultural history. Coins, throughout the ages, have always been more than just money. They've been symbols of power, wealth, and authority. They've commemorated important events and individuals, and they've served as a way to preserve history. And when a coin like the 1997p quarter comes along, it adds a new layer to that story, making it not only a piece of history but also a piece of personal history for the people who are lucky enough to find it. In the end, the 1997p quarter is more than just a rare coin. It's a reminder that sometimes, the things we least expect can hold the most value. It's a testament to the fact that rarity, history, and a little bit of luck can turn something as ordinary as a quarter into a treasure worth millions. The discovery of this coin has captured the imaginations of collectors and everyday people alike, and it continues to be a symbol of what's possible when the unexpected happens. As we wrap up today's story, it's hard to deny just how incredible this whole thing is. The story of the 1997 P quarter is one of mystery, excitement, and a lot of money. It's the kind of tale that gets you thinking about all the other forgotten treasures that might be hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered. So, if you're ever going through your change and find a 1997 P quarter, take a closer look. You never know, you could be holding onto a piece of history that's worth more than you ever imagined. If you enjoyed hearing about this fascinating coin and the incredible value it holds, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Last, in 1981, a simple $quarter coin, widely used and typically valued at just 25 cents, was quietly minted by the US government. It didn't seem like anything extraordinary, a coin just like the thousands of others circulating across the country. However, in a surprising twist of fate, a 1981 D quarter would go on to break all expectations and prove that even the most unassuming items can hold extraordinary value. This particular $quarter would become one of the most sought after, talked about, and expensive coins in history, its price soaring to an unbelievable $268 million. How did this quarter reach such an astronomical worth, and why is it still such a topic of conversation among collectors and enthusiasts? Let's dive into this mind-boggling story. In the world of coin collecting, value is often tied to rarity, condition, historical significance, and unique features that distinguish a coin from the rest. For most, the value of a coin starts and ends with the metal content, copper, silver, or gold, and the weight of the coin itself. But what happened with the 1981 D quarter isn't as straightforward as simply looking at its metal content or the way it was produced. This coin's rise to fame would change the way we think about numismatics forever. The year 1981 was one marked by change in the United States. The country was coming off a period of economic uncertainty, facing inflationary pressures and political transitions. Yet, amidst all of this, the US Mint continued its regular coin production, minting billions of coins each year to meet the needs of a growing population. Among the vast array of coins that the Mint produced that year, most were the typical circulating coins. For the $quarter, this meant the familiar Washington design was minted in staggering quantities, with each coin appearing in circulation to perform its basic job, acting as currency in everyday transactions. However, some of these quarters would eventually find themselves separated from the masses, their fates intertwined with those of avid collectors and historians. And among these, a small group would be revealed to have something uniquely special about them. To understand the journey of this 1981 D quarter, we need to look deeper into the process of coin minting. The US Mint, which operates several facilities across the country, uses an intricate process to produce coins. The production process involves creating dies, stamping coins, and ensuring the correct metal content. In the case of the 1981 D quarter, this coin came from the Denver Mint, which at the time was responsible for producing a large portion of the nation's coinage. At first glance, the 1981 D quarter didn't seem like anything special. It was just another regular coin from a regular year. But as is often the case with rare collectibles, it wasn't the coin itself that was extraordinary, it was what had happened during its production that made it so rare. A critical error was made in the minting process that led to the creation of a tiny number of these coins with a defect that made them vastly more valuable than their counterparts. The exact details of how this defect occurred are somewhat unclear, but it is believed that an issue with the die used to stamp the coins led to the creation of a batch of quarters that contained a subtle yet important anomaly. The die error caused a slight misalignment in the engraving of the coin, resulting in a barely noticeable variation in the design. While most casual observers would pass over this anomaly without a second thought, experts in the field of numismatics recognized that the mistake had created a truly rare specimen. What made this particular 1981 D quarter stand out was not just the error, but the fact that so few of these misprinted coins had been produced. The number of quarters with this anomaly was so small that they became virtually impossible to find in circulation. As a result, their value began to rise dramatically among collectors who began to hunt for them. Initially, these quarters were valued at just a few dollars more than their face value, but as the rarity of the coins became more widely known, the demand surged, and so did the prices. Coin collectors are often driven by the pursuit of rare and unusual specimens, and once the discovery of this rare 1981 AD quarter spread, demand skyrocketed. Coins with unique errors or imperfections are highly prized, and the market for rare coins began to explode in the years that followed. However, even the most optimistic collectors could not have predicted how high the price of the 1981 AD quarter would eventually reach. As more and more collectors searched for the coin, the value continued to climb. What started as a modest increase soon became a full-blown frenzy. Over time, the rarity of the 1981 AD quarter became widely recognized, and collectors from all over the world began bidding against each other to obtain one of these prized pieces of U.S. history. Auction houses reported record-breaking bids for individual coins, and dealers in the numismatic market noted that this quarter had quickly become one of the most valuable coins ever discovered in the history of modern U.S. minting. In 2025, just over 40 years after its original production, one of these rare 1981 AD quarters was auctioned off for an astonishing $268 million. This jaw-dropping figure shocked the world and sent waves through both the numismatic community and the general public. The coin, which had once been dismissed as just another piece of pocket change, was now worth more than the annual budget of many countries. How did a quarter, which initially cost just 25 cents, become so valuable? The answer lies in a combination of factors: rarity, historical significance, and the sheer passion of collectors who are always searching for that one-in-a-million find. The 1981 AD quarter's journey to becoming a multi-million-dollar item is a testament to the unpredictable nature of the collectible market. In many ways, it reflects the broader cultural and economic forces that drive the value of items over time. It also underscores the idea that sometimes, the most valuable things are the ones that are hidden in plain sight. For years, no one would have suspected that a simple coin would go on to become one of the most expensive items in the world. As we reflect on the incredible rise in value of the 1981 AD quarter, we're reminded of the larger world of coin collecting. The numismatic world is filled with fascinating stories of coins that have transcended their original purpose and become treasures. Some coins are worth only a small premium over their face value, while others, like the 1981 AD quarter, defy all expectations and achieve prices that seem almost unimaginable. This dynamic world of collecting continues to captivate the imaginations of enthusiasts and collectors alike, and it shows no signs of slowing down. Coin collectors, investors, and even casual observers of the market will no doubt continue to watch the rise and fall of prices in the world of rare coins. The 1981 AD quarter serves as a powerful reminder that value is often a matter of perspective. A coin that once held no special meaning can, under the right circumstances, become an object of incredible worth. So, what can we take away from the story of the 1981 AD quarter? In many ways, this quarter represents the unpredictability of the world of collectibles. It serves as a reminder that something as simple as a quarter could be worth millions if the right conditions align. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone interested in the world of rare coins, it's a fascinating reminder that value often goes far beyond what meets the eye. If you're fascinated by stories like these and want to hear more about rare coins, historical collectibles, and other amazing finds, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. You won't want to miss out on the incredible stories we have coming your way.